Malo mari a ho eiki mo le lei ai tonga mo vulang kotoa tale reiki mo tolu ki tau proklama Talanoa o Hawani mei ho mo le tio mo televisione Pasifika. Kua hoko a Republika ai kakai o Siaina ko hafonua hau I he whehokotaki mo tukui whanua e Pasifiki kawai ai whaipiri o te o Tonga. I kai ko ia pe ka ku hoko a Tonga ko whanua manakoa mo kakai Siaina ke nau nofo au nofo mai ki ai ke whakatua hanau bisinisi mo kumi ha mo ui mo hangahi whainga maari e fo'ou ma aho nau ngahi whamiri. I he taimi tatau pe kua whakaau ke lahi hono tā ke tii o ngahi bisinisi ai kakai Siaina I Tonga tau te whito ki ngahi wharekoloa mo vete I Tonga tapu mai kau kai haa ma kau hai whare pe I kai ngata ai ka kua toi kau atu ki ai mo ngahi hia whakalirifu ange pe ha mahino mai ai ai ngahi loto ta e fia maaria ni ihi I Tonga I he hiki mo nofo e matakari ko ini I he otomotuanga o wha. I e polokalama Talanoa o Hawani, te tau Talanoa mo motua Siaina mei Shanghai, na ne nofo taulahi I Melepuane Australia ki mua, pe hikia ki Tonga he taoeni e ua ku mariwatu. Ko HeTing Gan, o ku nofo I nuku alofa, pe o ku ne lata foki I Tonga, pe o ku ne lolotongako foki ki he lea whakatonga. Ka e o mai e ne tāri ki he kungahi whehui I he lea whakapritania. Ko e tau mua I whakaeke ko ini, ke tau mauha mahino lolotoange o uhinga o ku whiri ai kakai Siaina ke nau hiki o nofo mo ngāwe I Tonga me he tawhaaki whakasiaina. HeTing Gan ni hau pe malo I lava mai ki polokalama Talanoa, ki mua pe kamata e tawhepo Talanoa aki he Hawani te ke lava o whai haki I lea whakawhilo aki, mo whakaha mai ai loa ko ia, talu ho hiki whanua ki Tongana.
Okay, so my name is HeTing Gan, HeTing, yeah? And I've lived in Tonga for almost 2 years now. We came here in March 2019.
O ku mausiwa atu mei mulini o ku tokolahi e kakai Siaina o ku nau nofo au nofo mai ki Tonga mo whakalele foki e nau ngahi bisinisi I Tonga. Koe hae uhinga o ku fie hiki ai kakai Siaina mei he Republika ai kakai o Siaina ki ki whanua si mo tailoa o hangi e ko Tonga.
I guess part of that is just the life. I was in Australia and studying my master's degree. And I happened to meet a classmate. I met 2 or 3 that are Tongan nationals studying in Australia. And then that's the first time I heard about this country. So we traveled to Tonga back in 2018 to have a look at how the country is like. And then we decided to come here to do business. For various reasons. One of the main reasons, I guess, is because of the preferable exchange rate between the Tongan Paana and the Chinese RMB, the currency.
Ko kakai Siaina I Tongana o ku nau tupu me he wheito tatau pe I Siaina lahi pe o ku nau wome me he ngahi wahi whanua ke he o Siaina.
I guess if you ask the demography, like how the population is made up, I think the majority of them will be coming from the Fujian province, as far as I understand, coming from the southeastern part of China. But there are also minority coming from different parts of China.
Fe ai tokolahi o kakai Siaina o ku nofo I Tonga, pe ko pesi te e fiha o ke pehe o ku poto I he lea whakatonga I ho o wakai pe a au.
In the Tongan language, okay. As far based on my experience, the Chinese business people that are in the trade, in the fast moving consumer goods sector, they are the ones that deal most with the local consumers. So out of my head, I recall there are roughly 3,000 in terms of the Chinese population that are currently in the Kingdom of Tonga. Maybe 10 to 20%, especially those who have been here for an extensive period of time. These are very localized. They can speak pretty fluent Tongan language. Well, it's more than sufficient for them to facilitate business dealings with the locals.
O ku iai mo kau muri kehe o ku nau hiki ki Tonga o whenga ke whakatuha nau bisnisi. O hange ka kau Papalangi, kau Australia, kau New Zealand. Ko ku iai hani ihi o ku ikai ke ola e nau tau mua ngawe, pe iko e nau foki mai ki molini. O ku whewhe ai matakari siaina, pe ku nau fau nau tolu i he palopale matatau, pe ikai.
I guess that will the answer to this question will vary. I mean, for every business, their industry sectors, it's all very different. And I think what's most important will be that they deal with the right people. Although, I mean, for every new investor, it's not easy to find a good partner or some local Tongan that can support the business at the early stage. Say, for example, registration and stuff. But yeah, I think there is no universal comment whether it's how should I say, it's risky or not to do business here in Tonga. And it also very much depends on the overall environment. Particularly now, we all know the COVID pandemic is hitting the globe. So, everything is slowing down.
O ka tokolahi au pito ai kakai Tonga ko nau hiki whanua mai ki molini o hange ki Australia, New Zealand, mo Amerika. Pe o ku mau takitaha whainga ke tokoni ki ho mau ngahi whamiri i Tonga, aki e mau ngā ue mo tā se niti ki Tonga. Whewhe ai kakai siaina, o ku nau tatau i he tawha ake koe ni, pe ikai?
Yeah, a simple answer to this question is yes. And as you can imagine, that we come far away to the country to do business. I guess everybody want to be seen as being successful in what they are doing. It's almost like justifying that they are so far away from home, yet they are making the money that they are satisfied with. And yeah, to some extent, it's also to show the relatives far away that, hey, we are doing okay, we are successful, blah, blah, blah.
Koe tau whatunga motua a Tonga mo siaina o kuna kau whakatoloua koe kalatua whakaisite koe Eastern culture. Aia I ho wakai a au koe hā a ngahi whaike kehe I he ulunganga whakatonga mo anga whakasiaina.
Okay, I think now speaking of that, I'm happy that I learned a word, a Tongan word, whatonia. Whatonia is in a sense similar. That for both these two cultures, we feel the need to contribute to the family, to the especially those are in difficulty. But I also see the difference there is that the Tongan whatonia is a lot more heavy than what I understand for family responsibility. Because in China, we do it, we contribute to the family based on how much we make. And there's not too much pressure. Everybody knows, roughly knows where you are at, in terms of your income, your business, and so on. So there will be limited pressure from the family in that sense. But here in Tonga, as I was, talking and knowing this idea of whatonia from a few Tongans, they feel it's a heavy burden, but they are still doing it nonetheless. I know some people borrow money to give money to the family for special events, which is quite heavy.
Ko ki whanua si a Tonga o whakawhehoanaki ki he fuu republika ai kakai o siaina, o koanga whewhe ho mo katoa ngai ai tau o whakasiaina I tongana I hena.
Okay, there is limited cultural activities here in Tonga. I think majority of my country people, they just gather together, drink, and then eat, and then just celebrate. There's no fireworks. As you might know, fireworks are not allowed at this period in time. And then, there's no lion dancing, things like that. But I guess it's just gathering and drink, eat. Simple as that. Yeah.
Kua taulahi ai wāwhengawe aki whakadiplomatika ai pureanga o Tonga, mo pureanga o Republika ai kakai o Siaina. Pea tupunga ai tokolahi o taukainga Tonga kua nao mau whangamārie ke na wo o ako i Siaina, mo toi ako foki ai lea whakasiaina. O kuha ho ongo a au, ho whelo aki mo whelea aki, mo kautonga ko ini o kunau poto he lea whakasiaina.
Yes, I am very surprised, and you know, for a non-native Chinese speaker, I think I've met quite some of the Tongan like teenagers who has been studying in China, and they speak they master the tone pretty well, and they sounds like how should I say, fluent and close to native Chinese speakers. Yes. But there's also one issue that if they stay in China, they can continue improve or maintain the level of the language. But if they for some reason finish their study or not, return to Tonga, and then that's probably the moment they will use less and less Mandarin. So some may actually become less confident after they not using the language for work, for business for some time after they return.
O ko tuipe o tokolahi taha ai nofo koia ai kakaisiaina I Tonga tapu, ka kuo ke osi whakatonga I hamafola ai kakaisiaina ki he otomotu toke lau, hange ki bava, haapai, eua, me koe onga niua.
Well, the status quo is that Tonga tapu is the center of the trading activity. Majority of the business is here with opportunities. With opportunities and competitions too. So there are I guess a small proportion of business people that are looking to do business in outer islands for various reasons. For one reason, maybe a shortage of supply where they can price their goods at better margin compared to the already competitive market in Tonga tapu. But still, I have to say that a majority is still in Tonga tapu. Yeah.
O ku tokolahi e kakaisiaina o ku nau whai biznisi I Tongana, ka ne nau foki nau tolu ki siaina I kamataanga o e tau kuosi, ke nau kātoa ngā I e tau whaou whakasiaina, pe tālu ai o ku nau kei tuku waka I siaina. O ku iai hau ilo ki ni ihi koe ni mo tūkunga o ku nau iai.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware that some return. They are desperate to come back to Tonga to resume their business or work activities. So this has a how should I say, a substantial impact on these businesses where their employees are stuck in China. So in Tonga there's a shortage of skilled workers, like to fill that shortfall, and also for these that return to China, they might feel the what's a good word, to get used to the China lifestyle, and then they might feel that Tonga is because they might have already been in Tonga for some extensive period of time, and they may well already get used to the Tongan pace and way of life, also the culture and value system. So when they go back, they will also feel this what's the word, incompatible, like incompatible to to where they came from. Yeah, very likely.
I he kamataanga o tau wawe maua taha, na iai hawharekoloa siaina e whā, na e hai I Tonga tapu, pea na I whai whoke hawhinga e retio mai televisione Pasifika ke Talanoa, mo toka taha matakari siaina mei Tongana. Ke o mai hawhakamatala whekau aki mo me ani, ka na mau mai ai tari ta tau ai pe, kon mate iri fia, a homo matakari ke nau lea mai ki a teki mautolo ke media. Ko koe e toka taha biznisi siaina me Tonga e ki o ku haongo a au whelawe I mo me ani.
Well, I think, well, to be frank with you, I think majority of the Chinese business people, they come here with a profit motive. When with a profit motive, and then the bottom line is their life security. I mean, that is the bottom line. Without asking for more about policies that promotes trade and foreign investment, but the bottom line is that they have to be alive.
Yeah.
Otherwise there's no point. So yeah, the message has been spreading among the Chinese community, especially when we noted that there are sequential robbery cases taking place in different places in China. Because we use the social media, the WeChat. The message spreads very fast. Usually, when the first instance were like when the first store were the victim of a robbery, they may or may not raise this, like voice it so that everybody knows. Sometimes they keep it quiet just to stay safe. But when there are 2 or more continuous robbery cases happening, it's spreading very quickly. Everybody on WeChat, in the groups, they know about it, and the people start to frustrate, hiring securities, open the store late, close the store early. So I think it's really scary. Like we fear about the safety of our own life, but at the same time we feel it's also cause damage to the 2 countries, the people's relationship, and also it's a loss to the local consumers as well.
Ko fuoloa ai whiangai a Tonga mo ngahi whanua i ulope, mo ulunganga whakawhanua ai ngahi whanua papalangi, ka koe anga whakasiaina o kungari fo'ouia ki Tonga. Koe hakonga o anga whakawhanua a siaina o ku ke pehe e kaulelei ke ilo ki ai kakai Tonga.
The people's relationship, and also it's a loss to the local consumers as well.
Ko fuoloa ai whiangai a Tonga mo ngahi whanua i ulope, mo ulunganga whakawhanua ai ngahi whanua papalangi, ka koe anga whakasiaina o kungari fo'ouia ki Tonga. Koe hakonga o anga whakawhanua a siaina o ku ke pehe e kaulelei ke ilo ki ai kakai Tonga.
That's this is a little broad, but out of my mind, there's one thing is time. Like when you make an appointment with somebody to meet at certain time, from the Chinese culture, if I am late, I will frustrate, I will feel sorry, and then I will tell the other party like how long I will be there. But in terms of keeping to the times, like for the Tongans, I'm feeling they have a less how should I say, less commitment to this kind of promises. Like we see that as a promise that we should keep, because we don't, especially in business, we don't want to waste the other party's time waiting for us if we have already agreed for a time. But yeah, I mean that's certainly something I see that hopefully Tonga can pick up and improve on that.
Ka pau te tā fōrihi ai whehu I koini, koe hakonga I heanga whakatonga o ke pehe e kaulelei ke ako me ai kakai o ku matakari siaina.
I guess sharing as a community, this is done to a much greater extent in Tonga compared to the Chinese culture. Well, by sharing, I mean sharing both in a good and bad way. But here, people are more willing to share. But in China, like due to the fast-paced life environment, everybody is like they pay more attention to their small little family rather than here, like big families, relatives, cousins. You know, the sense of belonging here is stronger, I think.
Koe whanua lahi whauwhaua a siaina o whakawhehoa naki ke ki whanua ko Tonga, o ku ia hataimi o ku ke o ngoi taelata pe hange o ku ke tuu mawahe au pito mo mamao me toenga koe o mamani aki ho o whiri ke nofo koe I tongana.
Yeah, yes. A quick answer is yes. I do feel like there's how should I put it? It's like a village, like a village. And then after I came here for maybe 2 or 3 months, I pretty much drive the car all over Tonga Tapu already. We've been to the cliff. What's the name? There's a cliff. We've been to the blowholes, the Ha'amona. So there are not too many places to go after a while, honestly. So and also because most of us are we are used to staying on land rather than travel by sea a lot. So we are trapped in Tonga Tapu, and many Chinese, they've been here for 10, 20 years. They haven't even been to the outer islands to see the beautiful views of Vava'u, Hapai. But yeah, we have so far only been to Eua once. And yeah, on the whale watch trip to what's the name? Malinoa Island, yeah.
Na ke lawe ane nai ki he puhi I hauma, koe hamatanga ta tau pepe ko hamatanga whaka sukalafi pe whaka historia, o ke pehe e marie I ai hakau whalau ewa me siaina o ka pau te nau ahia a Tonga I he kahau.
Well, blowhole is certainly very special. The first time we see it, we are deeply attracted to it. And also the humpback whales, well, that's by and large due to the uniqueness of this species. But having said that, I don't know like how large a population that loves to dive, like the Chinese population that likes to dive. But I do know many Balanis they are more experienced in the diving activities. Yeah.
Te ke lava o whai haki I rea whakamalo pe popo haki talamonu I he lea whakasiaina ki hokakai I he whunga koia o e tau whao whakasiaina.
Okay. 恭祝大家牛年健康快乐，家庭和睦，生意牛气冲天。谢谢。
HeTing Gan whakamalo atu ho talelei ai whakaafe ke kau mai I he polokalama Talanoa pe ofa ke mau hata o whao whakasiaina whonu monu ia. Gong si whachai, she. Ho eke mo kai ngatonga o ku iai ai whakatua melie ne wato he whakaeke o poni haki I puipui tua me he tafa aki o kakai siaina ai uhinga o ka nau nofo au nofo ki Tonga pe mo uhinga o ka nau lata I hotau ki I whonua. Me ho mo polokalama Talanoa malo au pito mo mea mai ka mo mea